I'm not a scientist. I'm not an expert in footballs. I'm not an expert in football measurements. But that's what always football. So goddamn hard, but hold on to it.
Week 12, Stacks and Cash coming at you. Hopefully you got the volume down and you're listening to the Fantasy Millionaires while the Seahawks and Eagles, the Eagles just get stomped. And congratulations if you're still listening at this point. That means you probably have a playoff team. Hopefully we've helped a little bit. What's popping, Stacks? You got how many playoff teams you got? How many are you done with?
Oh man, that's a huge question. I think I have about 30 teams. I would say that
best ball is like a lot of, that's like you don't really do. So I mean, of the 30 teams, how many are best ball?
Well, how many are best ball?
Yeah.
Oh, I got about 45 teams, maybe 40 teams if we're talking best ball.
Okay.
So best ball, I'm not doing too bad right now. I've got a few first place teams in best ball. So
nice.
Well, I got my guy Antonio Gibson, who is just racking in the points the last couple of weeks. So I'm not doing too bad in best ball. In some of the other redraft leagues, though, I'm hemorrhaging, and I've got some teams that need some advice. I got some 5-6 teams, some 6-5 teams that are really close on the edge, who I need to get over the hump. So I'm here to learn just as much as I'm here to school, as they say.
Yeah. I think I have. I'm out in 2. I'm in 3, and I'm borderline on 2, something like that. So
that's pretty sexy.
Yeah, it's sexy. I have one really sexy team, and I don't know if it's appropriate to pour some out for Will Fuller, the best team in that league. Me and this guy, I think we have the best teams. He has Will Fuller, so yeah. I'm very excited that he is no longer going to. You're aware of Are you aware of the Will Fuller news? Like that just popped, right?
Oh yes, no, I'm fully aware. If you do not know, Will Fuller, him and his doctor had a scheme this year to make sure he didn't miss any games. So
it worked.
They pumped him up. They got him going good. He was healthy for a long time, and then they caught him. God darn it, they caught him, and it's not good. It's not good for Will Fuller. He suspended 6 games. He announced it on Instagram, which is pretty ironic. The NFL didn't come out with it. He did. And I mean, I liked his explanation. He said, I trusted somebody I shouldn't have trusted. It didn't work out well for me. So
at least he didn't use the dick pills excuse. I hate that one.
Excuse, yeah.
They're always blaming the dick pills. Like, don't buy dick pills at 7-Eleven if you're a professional athlete. Just, might want to rethink that one.
I mean, listen, if you're a professional athlete, you got to have a dick pills guy. I mean, you got to have a guy on your staff whose total job is to come around and be like, I got your dick pills. You're like, that's all I need. Thanks, guy. You shouldn't have to go slumming it, backdoor dick pilling it. No, thank you. Not at all.
Yeah. It's so weird, those dick pills, too. Like,
extends.
Well, no, like I don't know if you've ever taken a look at the back of the package. I have. No. And it's, the main ingredient is horny goat weed. So apparently there's a weed that you can grow in the ground that is a big part of the 7-Eleven dick pills. But
great.
But so it's supposed to be natural. It's a natural thing, it's just horny goat weed. I'm sure it's just,
Right. Both of this rhino horn, but that's highly illegal, and I think that's against all of the international laws nowadays. So, but in the Far East, though, that is a staple of culture and why the rhinos have been hunted to extinction almost. There is the belief of potency in that horn. I don't know.
The problem with the dick pills is that they get manufactured in the same facilities that I guess they make steroids in, in Mexico. I don't know where, but they just put the horny goat weed pills in the same vat.
They cut them with the same.
Yeah. It absorbs, the PED stuff. So whatever. But
I get my horny goat weed straight from Bo. And I also, good segue, get my Bo's Hot Box brand hot sauce. This shit is hot. Go get it at hotboxbatch.com. You won't fail any drug tests after you take it. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yep, I got some. I finally,
Ooh.
I took advantage of his charitable donation offer. So I pumped out. Just got 5. I'll probably mow right through those. So
You probably will. I love Bo. Bo's throwing in the chat. Can we elevate Hayden Hurst tonight? We will get to elevate, mitigate, and eviscerate, of course. But just on a personal level, shout out Bo McBigtime, who got a Hayden Hurst like and then a Hayden Hurst shout out today, saying that he was into Bo, that he's down with Bo, he digs Bo. And I was a little jealous, honestly, not because it was Hayden Hurst, but because it was my Bo. I was like, hey, Hayden, keep your mitts off my Bo. But you know what? It's okay. I can't be jealous. I love Bo. Other people love Bo. His hot sauce and his world-renowned personality are getting out there. So I love it, Bo. Build, brother. Get to know all the professional athletes and sell them your sauce, my guy.
Yeah, Bo McBigtime and Nimble with Numbers back-to-back weeks interacting with NFL players through the Twitters, and that's what's so cool about the Twitters, man.
I think it was back-to-back days almost. I mean,
really?
Yeah, I think maybe Saturday was me and Mecole Hardman, and then Monday was Hayden Hurst. So I mean, it was pretty quick and furious there. I love it. I told Bo, if you're in the world of NFL and you're talking NFL and you're about NFL, you want the NFL guys interacting with you. I actually stood up for Mecole a couple months ago. Another fantasy football guy was just talking some mad shit. I actually blocked that guy and got in a fight with him, and he's one of the only guys in the industry that I have blocked. And he's a small guy. I'm not going to mention him, but he was talking shit to Mecole, and I love Mecole. And so for Mecole just to come randomly into my Twitter feed and retweet me, man, God bless you. And God bless Hayden Hurst. We'll elevate him for sure upon Bo McBigtime's request today.
I just love the fact that NFL players care about fantasy. Like they're looking out at fantasy people in the Twitter world, and they're interacting with them, and like they really actually give a crap. They probably almost all of them play, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, I love my guy Austin Eckler, who came off the injured reserve last week just to smoke it. I mean, he was already getting in the 20s, 25 points up there. I love Austin Eckler. I've drafted him in the second round. You got to get Eckler in your lineups. If you didn't play him last week, what? Come on, man. As soon as they let him off the list on Saturday night, we pumped him. We pumped him on Fast Hard Finish. We pumped him into our lineups, on our Millie Maker lineups. We love him. So Austin Eckler, he should already be in your starting lineup, but did he look good? So glad he's back.
Yeah, I knew he was going to be straight when he was working out with like 315 doing sets of 5. I was like, yeah, he's going to be fine. I think that hamstring's good to go. So.
Yeah, well, he apologized to his fantasy people. Well, first of all, he told people to draft him, said he was going to win them championships. Then he got hurt and he apologized to people. Like, dude, come on, man. I'm sorry for you, bro. Then he came out and said, hey, fire me back up. We're going to win that championship. I love this guy. Like you said, he's meta. He understands. He's all in. Austin Eckler, shout out. I hope you take it to the house like 18 times the next couple weeks, bro.
So before we get into stuff, favorite touchdown.
Oh, favorite touchdown of the week. I love this. Good segment. I love this. Good new segment. You lead it off. You go first.
Hard to beat. Tyreek Hill going deep and then backflipping into the end zone.
Oh, man. That was
tough one to top.
That was my best part was no one even got mad at him. The guys who were near him, they watched him backflip, and they're just like, yeah, I mean, that's
my favorite part of it was there's never like that. That's never happened because people backflip, but he made the touchdown. If you look at the slow motion shot, his feet are on like the 1 centimeter line, and he backflips in. Yeah,
no, he made that a touchdown when he flipped. You're exactly.
That was so sick.
Yeah. If we're talking favorite touchdown, individual touchdown, there was a few good ones that were out there. That one probably was one of the best ones. I really like the AJ Brown touchdown on the kickoff. I mean, you got AJ Brown on the hands team against the Colts. Dude just smoked it, pick it up, and went 46 yards to the house. It's not like, the most crazy touchdown you're going to see, but it's just smart football IQ. I love seeing that. I love seeing somebody out there who, when he sees the ball, he goes to the house. He had 2 touchdowns, another great touchdown this week. He didn't have to bust through anybody. They showed the replay. He was actually, people were in front of him positionally. He outran everybody. A little hook, caught it, hooked it around, and just went diagonal. I mean, it was a fish hook. It was sensational. I'm a huge AJ Brown guy. Glad I got him over AJ or over Calvin Ridley now. Not lying. Glad I got him.
Yeah. I was the one who was pumping him hard in the third round, and he was, I was way ahead of consensus and ADP. And my argument was like he's gonna be at least in the third round next year because of his performance this year. What round do you think AJ Brown goes next year?
I think he's got to go in the end of the second.
That's what I think too.
Yeah, like 20, maybe 18 to 22 in there. He has to.
And I'll go earlier than that probably. You know what I mean? Like I'll go mid second round. Like I think he's just going to keep doing what he's doing. You know, I mean, he's the level that he's performing at right now, and the amount of fantasy points he's getting your team while he misses like the first 4 games or whatever it was. Whoo!
Yeah. Well, and he's not a guy who's a high volume target guy. That was always a knock on him last year.
Right.
Didn't have a lot of targets. He can't keep up the efficiency. Well, he can because
he's been doing it for 2 years now.
It's stronger. He's bigger. He's stronger than everybody else out there. And so when those DBs try to wrap him up, dude, he shoulder shakes the shit out of him. He doesn't care.
The sample size is clear. I mean, we have enough evidence. Like that wasn't a flash in the pan. No. He is keeping the efficiency up.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
He's hard to tackle, shifty, just, high football IQ. Mm-hmm. So yeah, love that dude.
Love AJ and his touchdown. But I think your touchdown is just a better touchdown because of the pageantry of it all, man. I mean,
that's going to be on commercials next year. Like that's that was a move.
No, that's great. So I love it. Anything else stand out to you in week 12 so far that just jumps off the page that you want to give a shout?
Minus all the money I lost betting this weekend. No. So
yeah, I lost a little bit of money this weekend too. My big studs did not come through. Keenan Allen did not come through, and neither did Diggs. But you know what? That happens. We got new guys we're going to talk about this week. We're going to introduce a new segment. We hinted at it last week called Stacks of Cash. That's going to be later in the episode. It's going to be a DFS tilt. No more trades to get paid. Trade deadline is past in most leagues. We're moving on. We're going to go through. We're going to start waiver wire. We're going to move from waiver wire to elevate, mitigate, eviscerate, stacks of cash, and then 3 tweets. So stick around. We're going to have a great show. I'm excited to see you. Before we do get into the waiver wire, let me ask you a question, though.
Sure.
What was the betting atmosphere like down in D.C. yesterday? What was it like?
I mean, we ended up using a bookie because the person who had like the legal app showed up at the last minute, so we couldn't get our picks in. Yeah, in fact, it messed with my fantasy teams. I ended up leaving Julio Jones because we were scrambling to get these picks in with the bookie, and then I looked later, I was like, I left Julio Jones in.
Oh man!
Oh no!
Well,
it wasn't like a betting place. Like we went to just a bar, but one of the intentions of it was you can legally bet in DC. We didn't go to the sports book or anything like that. Yeah.
Well, I'm disappointed that kind of worked out. You called me, and I was setting one of my thousands of lineups, and so I couldn't put any bets in. But I probably would have lost. Let's be honest. I went 7-4 in my picks on the main slate yesterday, so I wasn't perfect, and I lost $100 in my double up. Well, what are you gonna do? One of those bad weeks. You eat it, you own it, you move on. I'm ready to rock, though. I did my research today. Back in the saddle. Let's jump into the waiver wire, my friend.
Yeah, let's hit that wire. The wire. Yeah. Here's somebody I just picked up. QB. I have Cam Newton cutting that dude again. Bye, Cam.
Yeah, he's getting eviscerated again.
Yes, Cam. See ya. Peace. Kirk Cousins.
Oh, yeah.
If he's available.
He should be owned. He should definitely be rostered.
Yeah, especially if you're in a situation like I'm in where you have Dak and you lost Dak and you're just like playing, quarterback dart throwing every week. It's like, I don't know why I've been a little slow. This is kind of Kirk Cousins' MO too. He seems to start slow and finish strong. I mean, and he's doing it now. And, 30 some points last week without Thielen, so I think he's got to be added. So Kirk Cousins for me for QB. Who you got?
I like that. This it happened in an instant, in a flash last weekend. Tua out. Fitz magic. Grab him. You got to get Fitz. If he's going to be starting, watch for Tua this week. He is just one of the top 10 quarterbacks in the league when he plays. That's it. He's actually one of the top 5 DraftKings players in the last calendar year, or let's say 18, 20 games he's actually been in. A 16 game sample, but he's been in and out different times starting. He's a beast, man. And he might come into stacks of cash later today as well.
What is going on? Tua has a thumb injury. What is there any further details?
Hit it in practice, apparently on someone's helmet. And so it was not an injury that was in a game. It was a practice injury. So it swelled up. He was unable to rotate, hold the ball even. So I don't know if he'll be out again this week. They said it was going to be, a couple, or maybe a week or so. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. They might not have any reason to rush him back. If Fitz is able to kind of hold down the fort, I like Fitz a lot. And later on, we'll talk about him. He's not that expensive on DraftKings either.
If I'm that team, I'm rolling with Fitz because it's not like Tua is not going to have the better career. But I think there's something to be said for letting a quarterback sit their first year. Mahomes did it. You're just going to learn, and maybe roll them out in different times. Again, but like, and like, hey, buddy, no hard feelings, but we have a legitimate shot at the playoffs, and Fitz gives them that shot. So
he does. He's more. They put him in the other fourth quarter because they were down by a score and they needed a comeback. Fitz is the gunslinger. Tua is not that he can't be a gunslinger or that he won't be eventually, but what he really is right now is a game manager and a creator of opportunity on the scramble a little bit. He's like Kyler Murray light. If you took Kyler Murray and you poured a third of him out, and he's not got a lot of upside, and he can't do a lot of comebacks. He doesn't have a lot of rapport with receivers. His route, throwing is limited right now. But Fitz, man, he can light him up. He can hit you anywhere. He can hit you on the seam. He can hit you down the either side of the field. And he's got Devontae Parker double-digit targets again last week. So I think they saw that and they were like, yeah, we like that. So I'm hoping
that was one of the guys I called too. So
yes, yeah, I like your Fitz.
I called Parker last week. That was one of my
oh, you did? Yes,
elevates.
You did.
Yeah,
you did. I was a big fan of him. Played him in DFS and actually won a little money because of him. Put him in that lineup that had Sneckler in it. That was a little homage to you. So shout out. Nice.
All right. How about running back? I have Cam Akers.
Oh, he's the top of my list. Yeah. My list. I think finally getting him going. You see a little bit of Malcolm Brown, a little bit of Darrell Henderson, but Cam getting the touchdown, you love to see that. I think he's somebody that you want to see more and more the rest of this year. And I think that so do the Rams. I think they want to see him in their lineup. They didn't draft him just to sit behind those guys. They're not going to have all three of them by the end of this year. You know that. They're going to move one of those guys out. Cam Akers will be a valuable player on that team. Why not see what you got now? I think that's what's going to happen with McVay.
Yeah. Nice game. 9 carries, 84 yards, and a touchdown. So I expect that he is establishing his relevance to the head coaches in that offense with numbers like that. So yeah, I think he's a worthwhile add. Can
I interject Bo's right now? Bo just jumped in. But Bo's like the third member of the team here, on the comments. He runs the chat really well. Elevate Raheem must start, he says. Your guy. He did get some action in. He did play well. Talk about Raheem Mostert. What do you see? Think he's going to be somebody you want to play going forward for the rest of the season?
Dude, he's an auto start for me, for sure. Yeah, he's a must start for sure.
Yeah, the scheme is not built around it's around Debo. It's built around running. Here's something interesting that you might not know, Mike. I looked at it today. Debo has negative 41 air yards this year.
Right.
It's just, Josh Hermsmeyer's model is like breaking. He's like, listen, I can only range from 0 to whatever. I can't go negative, Debo. You're crushing the line here, So I think that really just shows you when he gets the ball in his hands, if he's behind the line of scrimmage, it doesn't really matter. He's like a running back. You take that ability that he has. So he's somebody who maybe was, kind of hanging around on your waivers because he's been hurt. The COVID's been back, and if Debo's available, which he probably isn't, but if he is, make sure you put all of your fab on Debo if you're in a league with some suckers and some Bamas who maybe have dropped him recently. So.
I have for wide receiver, we've mentioned him before, I think, but Gabriel Davis, I think, has another nice game and is just establishing himself as somebody who should be rostered. And then, he's matchup dependent, but I think he's worth grabbing off the wire.
I played him last week in DFS. I really do like Gabriel Davis. He is a burner. And that's what you need. Stephon Diggs is too. But Stephon Diggs is a great route runner. He's great in space. He's great on the slant. He does the 10-yard out by the sidelines. He does all these different routes. They're not going deep to him though. They're just not. It's not normally how it goes. And so I love Gabriel Davis. He's got the wheels. And so he's somebody who I'm into personally.
He's nice and big too, 6'2".
Yeah.
So
yes,
that's another thing that's nice.
Yes. No. Totally. My guy Bowman big time jumping out there saying his call Davis was his call in DFS. I love it, Bo. It's nice to be on it. I feel like this year we've definitely been on it across the board, different weeks, all of us calling out really good plays, whether we're on this platform or any others, fast, hard finish, whatnot. It's good to be part of a little winning team here. So high five us.
I got a tight end for you. I don't know how this guy is still out there.
Yeah.
And we got hyped on him, and he's still available in our league, our main league, our league of record.
Yeah.
Trey Burton.
Oh, he's my number one guy. Yeah. Yeah. He's also in my elevate. Yeah, he's numero uno for me in that section. Bo can tell you in the chat who I started against him, and I put Trey Burton in every single one of my DFS lineups last week. Every single one. That was my tight end. I didn't do any other tight end, but Trey Boo. He got the fire icon. He was at 3,200. He got over 13 points. Love Trey Burton. Listen, Phil Rivers sucks. But you know what? He's going to throw the ball, and he's going to throw it short. And in the end zone, in the red zone particularly, he likes Trey Burton. That's his guy. And they designed a route for him last week, and Trey Burton did a great job catching it in the back end zone, 2 feet in. He's a wide receiver in a bigger body. That's what he is.
Yeah, he's got hands, man. When the ball's up in the air, he comes down with it.
Oh, he crushes it. I named my team 2 years ago after Trey Burton. I drafted him or maybe 3 years ago, I think, in our league of record. So people made fun of me when I drafted him. They're like, he did finish tight end 10 that year. So it wasn't terrible for the Eagles, but or for the Bears, but he could have been better. He could have been better that first year in Chicago for sure. I said a hurting from Trey Burton. That was my team. And then I sucked that year. It was bad. But no, Trey, go get him. He's somebody you need. Can I jump back real quick to another player that I think is valuable, who I think you want to grab?
Sure.
This is incredible. He's still available in some leagues, is Logan Thomas. He had a great game against the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. He caught a touchdown. He was in fuego. He's available in like 35% of ESPN leagues. So come on, guys, go get this guy. It's ridiculous. He should be on every team. And that's just tight end talk for me. You got to have Trey Burton and Logan Thomas rostered now. I mean, that's just, you've seen the sample size enough that they're going to get targets down the stretch. You want those guys.
Yeah. Cool, brother. Anybody else? I'm out.
Alan Lazard is might be available.
That's great. Yeah,
he's the wide receiver too. Yeah, he's the wide receiver too now. MVS, bye-bye. I like Alan Lazard. I think so does Rodgers. And not that MVS is terrible. I like him as a person. When he made that fumble, people were like death threatening him and stuff. That's garbage, man. I tweeted out, good job, good try. It'll be okay. He had a bunch of people telling him it's okay because you know what? You struggle. But I do think Alan Lazard is just a more consistent football player. And so MVS will still hit over the top. He will. He's a downfield threat. But so's Tunyon, downfield threat too at the tight end position. So I like Alan Lazard, though. I think he's somebody you want to have on your team. That offense is going to hit. It just is. It's one of the best offenses in the league this year, and we'll talk about him later. Also in our rankings, we forgot to throw rankings in there. We rank the top teams that we like each week too, power rankings. So we do that.
He's going to come up in the next segment as well. Elevate, mitigate, eviscerate. So he's one of my picks.
I like it. Let me throw out two guys here too. Trubisky, if you're desperate, he's going up against a Detroit team that just gives up the touchdown. You can just they give up the touchdown. They give up the passing yards. I don't love Trubisky, but he's somebody, if you're desperate, he can get you 22, 21 points if you have nobody, if your quarterback is injured. And then watch, Josh Jacobs went out at the end of the fourth quarter with a twisted ankle. So keep an eye on that. And Devontae Booker, if he is available and Josh Jacobs has to sit for any reason, he becomes an RB2 for sure in that Raiders offense. So
another person in my elevate, mitigate, eviscerate. I'm here previewing one of my running backs. You've previewed one of my wide receivers and one of my running backs. So I like it.
Here's the secret to the show. We're best friends, but we don't prep together. We talk separately. We don't share any notes before game time. We just come with what we've kind of assessed the situation to be each week to week. So it's cool when we hit upon some of the same guys, and hopefully they'll hit upon some points on Sunday for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, those are the main ones. Frank Gore is hanging around too. If you're desperate, grab him. He's the only game in town. It's not a great game, but you know what? It's like the girl at the end of the night. You know what I mean? Who sees that other hot girl at the end of the night? And they're like, let's not go.
You can pick that guy up. I'm not.
Yeah. I'm not even. Oh no, my team's stacked. I'm not picking him up.
I'm not picking him up.
I don't even care. I'm not picking him up at all. I'm just saying he's available if you're desperate housewives.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So, our favorite segment of the week, because we get to talk a little trash, we get to pump people up. Elevate, mitigate, eviscerate. It means just what it sounds like. It's not that difficult. If you're a scholarly person, you're in. So, who are you elevating at the QB position this week?
Kirk Cousins, somebody I said to pick up on the wire. Yeah, Jacksonville is third worst versus quarterbacks, and they, they just continue to, develop Jefferson. Now they got Chad Beebe getting the ball, and of course Thielen should be back off of COVID. So I'm expecting him to have a couple touchdowns. I think he has a great game versus Jacksonville.
Yeah, no, I'm going to talk about him later in our stacks of cash DFS section coming up in a little bit for sure. I like that. My guy is going to be Ryan Tannehill. And last week against the Colts, a lot of people did bench him because the Colts D was strong. And, man, he just cut right through them. And
every week, too. I bench him all the time.
Yeah, I think he's just here to stay. And here's why. I dissected this game a lot because I got it wrong. And I thought it would be a 28-27 game, back and forth, a lot of scoring on both. But the Tennessee Titans just ran over the Colts. They big boyed them with Derrick Henry. And another over 160 yards rushing. I mean, he was just ridiculous,
Yeah, it's definitely Derrick Henry season.
Oh, it's the season. I was going to say. So that opens up Ryan Tannehill season as well. So
yeah,
I'm all about Tannehill this week. He's going up against Cleveland, and I think he's going to eat. So that's a guy who I'm elevating this week at QB myself. So
I got another one for you. He could have been part of the waiver wire section too, unless you're an ESPN. Taysom Hill plays Atlanta.
Oh yeah, that's
I expect him to do a little work versus that defense. So
yes.
He is not going to look like how Derek Carr looked this past weekend. I think he's going to be able to do his thing. I bet you he has some nice throws, and his MO is he gets in the end zone when they get down there by the goal line. So
yeah.
I'll take Taysom versus Atlanta.
I like it a lot, and Alvin Kamara owners right now are just kind of like, oh, he's capping my touchdown upside. So he's not somebody that you're ever going to sit. But man, what a dent he is! A dent in Alvin Kamara. That's just
100%.
Yeah. Well, speaking of somebody who's kind of getting back in the game, an old head, my running back to elevate is James White. With Rex Burkhead gone, James White is somebody who you saw get 2 touchdowns. He's not going to do that every week, but down by the goal line, you saw him in the Super Bowl against Atlanta. He should have been MVP. Tom Brady said it. If Tom Brady says it, it's true, because that guy eats like spinach and no strawberries. So, I mean, only people who are the truth tellers would do that. And he said James White should have been the MVP of that Super Bowl. And down by the goal line for Cam, he's the best thing he's got, really. I like Damian Harris for rushing, but when you get inside that green zone, you can pass the football with James White. He's always been a staple. And I don't know what he kind of got. I think he had a death in the family, something tragic happened. He's kind of out of the mix. You know how Belichick does. He's not trying to hurt anybody. He's just like, we're going to go with what we got. We got this. We're going to go. We're going to go. And so he just went. That's what he does. James White's back now, and he's going with James White. So I really like that as somebody who you can plug probably in the rest of the year. Be a flex in your lineup. Plug and play. Go away. James White's going to get you 15, 16 points a game.
Yeah. Burkhead no longer being part of the equation. Burkhead really moved into that pass catching role.
Yeah.
And it was like both of those guys were just useless. And now that Burkhead's gone, it's, he's the guy. He's the PPR guy again. And yeah, it's valuable for sure.
Yeah, but Bo's throwing some shade. He said Brady doesn't always eat nightshades.
He doesn't always eat nightshades?
Yeah.
What is that?
I don't know, but it's funny.
I have no idea what that means.
I think
he doesn't always eat nightshades.
Yeah, I think nightshades are mushrooms.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. And I agree with you on that. What about you have any other running backs that you're considering?
So we've already mentioned him off the waiver wire. We got if Josh Jacobs is out, we got Devontae Booker versus the Jets. I like that matchup. I pretty much go find the Jets, and then I say, I mean, again, when we do elevate, mitigate, eviscerate, we're not going to talk about Josh Jacobs. We're not going to talk about DK Metcalf. We're picking fringe guys that you're thinking about sitting or you're thinking about starting. And I think Devontae Booker would be somebody that you would be nervous about starting. But if Josh Jacobs is out,
and missed the extra point.
Sorry, my football game just turned on.
Please no worries. If Josh Jacobs is out, Devontae Booker is a great start. In a flex.
Yes. No, I like that a lot. I have a wide receiver. If we're jumping to wide receivers,
I got one more running back.
All right, hit me with your running back.
Everyone's least favorite person that they drafted showed up and showed you what he can do versus a bad defense.
Oh yeah.
David Montgomery is playing Detroit this weekend.
Oh, yes, he's a must start, I believe, as well.
Yeah, I think so. I also think like Mitchell Trubisky changes his landscape a little bit too. I've always said that when you have a mobile quarterback, it makes the running game more dangerous, and there's a little bit more threat with Trubisky back there. He does like to move outside the pocket, and they can do more plays that I think will give him space. And that poor guy, I've been watching him all season. I was very low on him and ended up drafting him in a few leagues because he was so late. I think it was getting him in like 8th and 9th rounds. Yeah. So I've really been paying attention to him, and he actually is kind of a beast of a back. He just literally has no space. So when he gets space, you saw that play when he broke through versus Green Bay at the beginning of the game and almost took it all the way to the house, was stiff arming people, and he had a bunch of plays where he was just, he's a little bowling ball type dude that, he's strong. So, I think everybody hesitates with him at this point because he just has so many, just bad plays all the time. He still ends up getting decent points a lot of times, but before he got the concussion, I think he had like a 6-point game or something like that. So I I like this matchup versus Detroit. So give me David Montgomery at running back. So that's all I got for running backs.
Yeah.
Let's hit some wide receivers. I got a couple of them. Already previewed one. Alan Lazard. The Packers are playing the Eagles, and Avonte Maddox, I think, should be his corner, and he is one of the worst corners in the league.
Yeah.
He's just low in every single metric. So I'm expecting Aaron Rodgers to be aware of that and to take advantage of that matchup. So I loved it when you brought him on in the waiver wire segment, because I think he goes off this week.
Yeah, no, I like that a lot. Here's somebody who, and I don't know if this is going to continue. And it does kind of, if DJ Shark is out and Chris Connolly is out, this week again, I like Colin Johnson. He looked really good last week. He hadn't been on the field much. The highest snap percentage he had seen all season was 30%. It was week 3. Last week he saw 80% of the snaps. When you can come in, I'm gonna load his wide receiver data right now. He had 8 targets, 4 receptions, 96 yards, and a touchdown. He's not gonna get that every week, but next week, the Jacksonville, I'm not sure if you mentioned who they're gonna play, but let me pull this up real quick. Jacksonville
and the Vikings.
Yeah,
so it's a great pick.
That game is going to shoot.
Now, all their corners suck.
And right. And so you could also argue for Laviska Shenault, but I like the connection that super neck man had, stretchy neck boy Mike Glennon had with Johnson. He looked good. He really did. So he's somebody who I think you can plug into your flex play, maybe a DFS sneaky play as well. He's not going to come up in our DFS quarterback stacks, but just interesting play there.
Yeah, all these guys are DFS picks too, because they're again, because these are all fringe guys. They're all low price guys. So these are all people we think are worthwhile for throwing in lineups in DFS for week 13.
Who is another wide receiver that you have on your list?
Well, before I found out the news, I had picked my man Brandon Cooks, even though he's playing the Colts. And now he is the wide receiver 1 on that team, and it looks, I think his corner is, I don't know, Rakyasin, I don't know. But he's garbage, and he's probably one of the chinks in that defense. So either way, I think he's going to be getting a ton of targets, especially now with Will Fuller out. So I like Brandon Cooks to start this week.
No, I like that, and he's going to come up later in our next segment. So that's cool. Any other wide receivers? Because I'm going to jump to tight ends if you
do it. Jump on in.
I'm going to say this one's tied a little bit to Fitzmagic being involved, but Mike Gesicki is back. Whenever Fitzmagic gets on the field, Gesicki's his guy. That's who he likes, So I really think Gesicki is somebody who, against Cincinnati, who can do a little bit of eating. But here's the thing. I do want to see Fitzmagic in there. It's contingent. It's not.
I was debating on promoting him in this segment, so I love it. He was somebody I was thinking about. I mean, the guy, he also has great hands. And with the Fitzmagic, potentially back, I think that's a great elevate. So,
and the thing about it too is that Cincinnati is not great against the tight end. So Cincinnati is the 5th worst against the tight end. They've given up 6 touchdowns. They've given up 718 yards. And that was before this past week against the Giants. You saw what Ingram did to them. Athletic tight ends eat against them, and so I see this as a plus matchup, particularly. So,
how about Robert Tonyan?
I think it's Tunyon. It came out because he said it rhymes with bunion. Like I got a bunion on this bunion. I'm about to shove in your onion.
Yeah.
So.
Eagles are sixth worst versus tight end. So, give me Tunyon this week for sure.
I love it. I got a defense. I got a little bounce back defense. If you want to go down to defense,
yeah, let's do defenses. I got 2 defenses. Who you got?
I'm going to go back to Houston. They got blown out last week, but here's what I think is going to happen. The thing that changed that game, because I studied that game a little bit, is the Derrick Henry's ability to run people over. Duke Johnson's not going to do that. And without Will Fuller, I think they can kind of strangle that defense. And I think Brandon Cook still gets his, but I think that will be a bounce back play. I think the Colts will be a little bit of a value. And 3,000 on DraftKings too. I like them this week. So
I like that too. Yeah, the 2 games I was looking at are Chiefs versus Broncos. I like the Chiefs, and Seahawks versus Giants. That lowly Seahawks D. I'm going to probably say start any defense versus the Giants for the rest of the year, because it looks like that hamstring injury with Daniel Jones is going to keep him out the rest of the year. So
yeah,
I've had Colt McCoy as my quarterback on the Washington football team, and am well aware that offense is going to sputter on out. So
yeah. No, you're 100% right. Colt McCoy is a dead man walking. He's terrible. I mean, good Lord. His velocity, I told London when he went in for Daniel Jones and said, watch how slow he throws the football.
Yeah, he looks like Peyton Manning in his last year.
Burn. Yeah. Don't come at me, Cole. Burn. No, I like that. Who's your other defense?
So Chiefs and Seahawks are my 2 picks. Yeah. I like the Chiefs versus the Broncos too. So who knows if the COVID drama continues. What did you think about all that? Did you were you pro NFL or anti NFL in their decision to just be like, yo, shorty, you gotta play this game?
I think they should have played it maybe Friday. If Thursday they weren't sure. I don't know how many people were tested and broke. I don't know. That's what I originally thought.
So you think they should have played it, Tuesday or something like that? They should have pushed it back?
No, I don't know. Now, what happened with what they did do, I think it's good that they did push it back because more people tested positive, and you don't want a super spreader event on a field for sure.
Yeah.
So I what I didn't like was, to me.
No, we're talking about the Broncos game.
Oh, the Broncos game.
Right. I'm saying the Broncos. I'm asking, where do you weigh in? No, not on the Steelers Ravens. Where do you weigh in?
They should have made that game go. That was a terrible game, but it should have happened. You know what I mean? Like, just because you don't have quarterback.
You're pro NFL decision on that, because there's a lot. That's been the hot topic. I thought
you were talking about the Pittsburgh one, because a lot of them were like there's those 2 camps in the Pittsburgh one that were like their job in Pittsburgh, and then the people who were like, a bunch of babies. And I kind of was like, well, Pittsburgh has kind of been jobbed, and so, but I don't think the Broncos got jobbed. I think they followed the protocol and they did what they're supposed to do. They didn't have 10 people test positive. They had a few, like 3, right? So that was it, or 1, and then a few contact traces.
All their quarterbacks, one quarterback, and then
mask. Their coach called out the quarterbacks and said, "No, that's bad, quarterbacks."
I'm with you. I'm pretty much pro. This is the year of our Lord COVID 2020. Lord COVID. We've already gotten here. We're almost through week 12. Yeah, try not to get it, and if you get it, stay the F away from everybody. And either way, if everybody on your team gets it, you have 22 starters that get it, they have a thing called the practice squad. That's just how it's going to have to roll. Schedules must be kept. So I'm with you. I was surprised. I thought, because a lot of people were a little bit mad because the hypocrisy of the NFL. If that was the Chiefs, it would have probably been handled a little differently. That's what a lot of people were arguing.
Well, I hate the if then buts, because they didn't happen. So
yeah,
More so, I think that Pittsburgh and then the Broncos, they're trying to stop the spread of it. That's the key. And I respect them for that. I want them to stop the spread. I don't want people to get sick. For my amusement, entertainment, and gambling and losing money, that's not okay. People shouldn't get sick. But
and Sice for a Tuesday night game.
Well, it got moved to Wednesday at.
Oh, right. Yeah, I know. I just found that out. Yeah. So what happened? I looked. My wife told me that.
Yeah.
And then I was like looking. I was like, one of my apps still said 8. So is it 3:00 on Wednesday?
3:40 on Wednesday.
3:40. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm not sure which week it's counting towards. We have to figure that out now and see what leagues do, see what Sleeper does, see what ESPN does. I haven't seen any statements yet because I've been prepping for the show. Head down, grinding for you folks out there. We got a bunch of friends out there. We got about 12 people living with us right now. Thank you guys for being with us. We thank every single viewer who's hanging out with me and Mike Cash Collins. I'm Scott Stack Simpson. I should put the stack in there. We call me Stack.
You guys are winners. These are winners hanging out with us. These
are
guys that are headed to the playoffs. So,
yeah. Well, I mean, we got some forward thinking men and women. Thank you. Shout out to all of you guys. Great people out there in the Twitterverse and in the Periscope and in the YouTube. I'm gonna do my best Massimo impersonation right now, or not Massimo, Asimo, and be like, thank you for watching our show, and can you please like and subscribe?
Smash the like button. Smash subscribe.
Yeah. Okay.
No. Smash subscribe.
I have I was thinking about the show, and you should like it. I do love those guys, by the way.
Hey,
shout out.
Can't argue with the results.
No, Alex Baker's awesome. I love him.
Yeah, well, speaking of Alex Baker, the DFS guru that he is, welcome to finally. We are going to start talking DFS from here on out on the Fantasy Millionaires. The final segment of the show, fantasy-wise, is stacks of cash.
I got a little something for mine.
Okay.
And I'm just going to throw a graphic up, and then let me just we'll see if some of these are yours too. But we'll just kind of play around and see how this goes. And next time we can coordinate a little better, and I can put yours on here too. But here's a graphic that I have with some of the QBs. I can make it a little bit bigger as well. So why don't you lead off and tell me yours, and maybe it's on the list.
He's right there at the top. First person I had written down. My stacks of cash leading off is Aaron Rodgers, 6,800 versus Philly, with pairing him, a nice tasty pairing with Alan Lazard. I think that's a primo play for this week. I
like that. Alan Lazard priced much different than the man I have.
Alan Lazard is only $5,000.
Yeah,
on DraftKings.
That's a great stack.
So you're at $11,800 with that stack.
That's not bad at all. I love that. So, and 11,800 puts you down here at the bottom at the Baker stack, which is a great little tidbit. I really like that as a contrarian stack. Here's what I went with the Aaron Rodgers. His 6,800 is ridiculous. That's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. That just stood out to me as the best quarterback besides not named Pat Mahomes right now. And I love this as a price against a Philadelphia defense who he's going to be able to throw the ball on. And I don't care that Devontae Adams against Darius Slay. I don't care. It doesn't matter. He's going to eat. He does eat. He eats against everybody. He is a beast. He's the best wide receiver in the game right now. So here's the thing that I went back and forth with, though. I said, okay, so Aaron Rodgers is priced down. Devontae Adams priced up or just around his, you think he's 8,800 last week or maybe 9,000, right? And that's expensive. That's 1,580. That's a lot, right? And for them to hit their 3 max value, they have to combine for 47 points, right? Which is a high total. That's a high ask. Well, that's 5 points under their average. So they even slum a little bit. And so I just think this makes them a real strong cash play this week if you're playing them in cash, where I think your play is a really strong tournament play, a nice tournament GPP play. So 2 different roads there, but really good value with Aaron Rodgers either way. So anybody else that you see on my board who you wanted to touch on?
Let's see. You got Tannehill.
Yes,
So the only I like I'm pairing Tannehill at 6,200 with Jonnu Smith at 4,100.
Ooh.
Yeah,
That's 10-3 right there. That's a lot of value in your
yeah.
wide receiver. He came off a donut, a 0 and nothing, and zilch burned you down to the ground. And we faded him last week. Both faded him. We all faded him. Why are you going back to the well?
Oh, because he's playing Cleveland and he's just got a nice matchup. So I think they don't defend well against the tight end, and he's going to end up eating.
Yeah.
I bet you he's back in that role where he's getting 6-7 catches a game, maybe a touchdown. So yeah, the value is good, and that was the only tight end I wanted to pair. So I like Tannehill, Jonnu Smith this week.
I like it. This is just a board, and I'm not picking all these players. I just want to kind of give a broad spectrum of some of the price ranges of the best wide receiver or the priced up wide receiver on each team with the priced up or the priced down quarterback. One thing that stood out to me is if Julio Jones does play, and I know he's always iffy with that stupid hamstring of his. I don't know how long he's going to be out, but if he is going to play, his average is right around where his 3 max value would be as well. So that's somebody who, if they go off, that's a cheaper stack as well at 12, 2 that maybe you're overlooking. And maybe that's all dependent on how Julio practices this week. And if he's good and he's solid and he gets in more than 1 rep. And if he doesn't, fade that. Get rid of that.
Oh, you know what, man? We completely forgot mitigate and eviscerate. I guess we'll have to circle back to that.
We can circle back.
Yeah. But
any other stacks that you wanted to mention?
Well, I'm pushing back against that. I don't like Matt Ryan's matchup versus New Orleans. He was somebody I had put in the mitigate camp. So I think if Julio Jones is playing, that offense, when he's on the field, it's just markedly better. So yeah, I don't hate it, but for me personally, like I said, I had him in the mitigate section that we just cruised right by.
well, no worries. Here's the thing: he just because he's on the board doesn't mean that I want to have him in my lineup. I just think it's interesting that is near their average, and where in the other players here, they're reaching a little bit. So for Cousins and Justin Jefferson, they're right around their 37, but other players, like Trubisky, even they're 4 points behind, and so there's just a value here to be had in different ways. I'm not advocating for all of these at all.
Yeah, no, it's cool, man. I love this graphic. Yeah, but again, with Matt Ryan, it's just like he just went from one of the worst defenses in the league to now, what are they, 6th? Is that what they're doing? Yeah, and they're better than 6th. Like they're probably a top 3 defense in the league right now.
I agree, and they just played them a couple weeks ago. Here's what I think about this, and I'm not a big revenge game, but you just saw what the Houston, I can't call them Houston, the Tennessee Titans did to the Colts, who they beat them a couple weeks ago, and they kind of really limited them and held them down. There is just human nature. These guys have been playing each other for a long time. They're division rivals, and so I think if Julio does go, this is a contrarian play that you might be able to sneak in and just kind of, it's not going to be a great play, but not a lot of people will play it. So I think I think
it'll be low ownership for sure.
Yeah, and so I don't see them being as. I mean, look at this. The stack of Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams. It's going to be more expensive, but it's getting you more value. You know what I mean? And so there's things to be had. I like Aaron Rodgers this week, and so I think I'm going to use your little mini stack. I think Tunyon the Funyon is in play as well. I think he's in play too. So
I like it.
Yeah. Excellent. So you want to circle back to our mitigate, elevate, and eviscerate?
The
mitigate parts.
Okay. One other guy I was just going to mention was Roethlisberger and Juju. Juju is going to go against, I believe, Moreland for the Skins. So, not the Skins. Oh, I said it.
Well, no,
said it.
You can say listen. The other day,
I said it.
Well,
the Washington football, the Jimmy Moreland of the football team.
Michael Strahan straight said it 3 times in a row. He said the Redskins, and then Jimmy was like, or somebody was like, you mean? He goes, oh yeah, the Washington football team. You're just like Michael Strahan, but he played against them when they were. They hit him. He hit against them. He saw them. He absorbed them. So it's different. But I mean, for us, we call them the Skins. That was our nickname for them. So
Roethlisberger 6,500, Juju at 5,800, and Jimmy Moreland being our worst corner as fans. You're no longer a fan. You're an ex-fan. I am still a fan that just does not care. Is completely apathetic. I think this is a Juju, he's going to have his big weeks and his not so big weeks. I think this is a big week for Juju. So that the values there, both of them, 6,500 and 5,800. So that's a stack of cash. One more was Deshaun Watson, 7,500, but Brandon Cooks, 5,600.
I like that. That was a sheet as well.
So that was all I had for stacks of cash. If you want to go back to the segment we paused, we just got so excited for stacks of cash. I just saw it sitting there. We just completely forgot about mitigate eviscerate. I don't have that much for mitigate eviscerate.
I don't either, actually.
Yeah, I have for mitigate. I just have the. I'm mitigating Bills running backs.
I eviscerated last week. I think Singletary. And then Moss is a downgrade to mitigate for sure.
Yeah, they're playing the 49ers, who are 5th against the run, and it's just you can't figure out who's gonna, have the better week, and neither one of them are really blowing up. So to me, I'm not permanently mitigating them for me, but this week for sure, I'm just sick of those running backs. I am. If I have Matt Ryan and there's another viable option, I'm gonna sit him versus New Orleans this week. So that's all I had for mitigate. Did you have anybody?
I think you should mitigate the Browns defense this week. You should mitigate them. I don't see them doing well against Tennessee. I see Tennessee running over them. I see them just run over them. So and passing over them as well.
I like that.
Yeah, that's somebody who has a defense. They've been good last couple of weeks. Jacksonville not so great, but they got a defensive touchdown 2 weeks ago. So there's somebody who just no, thank you.
Anybody else in mitigate? I got 2 hot names for eviscerate.
No, I'm not really into mitigating as much right now because I think right now you're grasping at players to start almost more so than mitigating anyone.
Yeah.
Your players have kind of already been downgraded, honestly. But who's some eviscerates? I want to hear some. Juicy.
How about Lamar Jackson?
Eviscerating him. Wow. Tell me why.
If you picked up somebody like Justin Herbert, why are you? I mean, you could keep him as a backup. You could keep him as a backup, but I think if you need to roll the dice and you want to get somebody off your waiver wire, I think he's in the conversation. I eviscerated him in one league. I ended up picking him back up because a player went out, so I could put him on the IR. But I dropped him like a hot potato. There was somebody I needed, and I said, "Peace out." Yeah, I have Herbert on that team, so I like doing hot takes on eviscerate, and I mean it's crazy. He was a 1st to 3rd round draft pick this year, and he is a quarterback 2. I mean, he is not a QB1.
You called that a while ago, unfortunately, and yeah. He'll have his games, but that offense is terrible. And I'll eat my shit that I say that's good. or that's bad that says it's not good. I advocated maybe like week 5 or 6 for getting Marquise Brown, and maybe he'll get a few games in later this week or this year and do okay.
He
but
stinks. He
terrible.
stinks. He
Not
stinks.
Good.
And Lamar Jackson. I'll say this: he's going to have his good weeks. It is a good week, 20 points, because that's going to be a good week. I don't think he, gets you higher than 24 points. The rest of the season. I think he's had one game where he broke 30 points. So
I'm
he's
out.
just. Yeah, I think he's cuttable. So that was a hot name.
You should also visit Carson Wentz too. That's what I think.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have already done that. So he might get eviscerated by his own team. So
yeah, I was thinking like honestly, just for real life.
Yeah.
And his tax.
Yeah, he should get mitigated. I don't think he should get eviscerated, but he should get mitigated for sure. I mean, he'll be. I can't believe that he's already worked to. He looks like he's a backup, but that is what he looks like. So I would like to see Jalen Hurts get in the games and see what he can do if I was an Eagles fan.
Well,
I got a hot name. I got one more hottie.
Give me a hottie. I want to hear it.
I've been pumping this guy all season. Stacks was in love with this guy, and I've already cut him. Leonard Fournette, if you haven't cut him yet, peace out, yo. He is not the better running back. He is not the better running back.
That guy's got some uppity bumps.
Yeah. Ronald Jones is he's just got that burst, and Leonard Fournette, he's he's just he's not necessarily like hot garbage. He's going to have games where he gets 10 points. He's going to get goal line carries. So it's a hot take, but I'm just saying he's worth looking at to dump off. I dumped him in a league and got Kirk Cousins. So that's how he came to mind.
I was so tempted to do the drop from the Junkies was whoop de freaking do.
Yeah.
No, I like Kirk Cousins a lot. I think that's a good dump. I would take that to get the Kirk. So yeah, that's it. I'm not eviscerating anybody right now just because it's the holidays. So I'll be kind. But we can jump into 3 tweets because that's what people are here for as well. We got a couple of 3 tweeters. Do you want to have me lead off? Do you want to lead off? How do you want to play this, brother?
Well, speaking of Leonard Fournette, why don't you lead off with mine?
Okay, I'm jumping up into yours. Let me share my screen. Don't go crazy, folks. There's gonna be a lot of images on here. If you're afraid of flashing images, be careful because there'll be just a steady.
Yeah,
stream.
Leonard Fournette is known to cause seizures if you're a fantasy owner of his. So.
All right,
yeah, let's blow it up because I want to read it too. Can you go back and make the tweet big before you do the?
I can definitely try. Oh, that's not what I want to do.
Go back. I'll see if I can read it.
I got it. Leonard Fournette. You want to read it?
Leonard Fournette's vision is something else. Leonard Fournette's vision is something else. Now let's blow up a play of Leonard Fournette's vision. Just watch this.
Okay, hold on. I gotta figure out how to.
This bothers me so much. Okay, here he goes. Handoff, and there's such a big hole. There is such a big hole. It's like he is like a vasectomy with sperm. Like he just curves. Like he doesn't. He just curves into whatever. I don't remember how they work. Like, don't they just like tunnel into the side of your penis or something like that? Like that. Look at this play. Rewind this play. He's a vasectomy. Watch this.
He's just running into.
He's got a nice big ejaculation hole, and he just turns and runs directly into his center and guard.
Yeah,
we're trapping. Making this hole.
Right.
Here we go. Boom. Nope. There we go. Like that looks like a guy that caught that same COVID that Cam had. Like,
Right.
something's wrong. Something's cognitively off there.
I think it reminds me of the Wu-Tang line when they're talking about how their brains were infected by devils.
Yeah.
One more time.
The Jizza album.
Hut runs through the A gap. Nope, right in the butt gap.
Oh my gosh.
It was right there. Okay.
Yeah.
I
think I cut, you say whoop-de-doo. I think I watched this and I was like, get him off my team.
I love it. Yeah, he's eviscerated. Get him off. All right, let's check out mine. Mine's probably not as funny as yours. Mine is, and this is, let's go back to our special little our DMs. So, okay, here we go. This made me laugh. All right, so this is called hand building versus optimizing for DFS. Okay. So here we go. This is hand build versus optimizing for DFS. Using an optimizer versus using your hands, like using a hand build lineup.
I like it.
So the guy in the video is trying to just get off like one piece of tape to wrap a box, and the other guy is like a tape ninja, and he's just like stack. He does a whole box in like, I don't know, like 10 seconds or something.
Yeah, that was fast wrapping right there.
Watch it again. Boom, 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 boom. Top's done. Goes around and spins it.
That's sick.
And then boom. And that guy's like, what? The other guy can't even do it. He drops his thing. So I think you win. I just wanted to show that. I thought that was just remarkable. And then the joke was pretty funny too, because this is the DFS optimizer. This is a hand-built guy. But I've used them both, and I like being the hand-built guy. I'm
a hand-built guy myself. So
I won my 5K in the hand-built way. So, yeah. All right. Let's declare ye the winner, my friend. I believe.
Okay.
You made me laugh out loud. So
I have a nice holiday tweet. Let's go back.
Yeah. Let's see if we can. If this person hasn't tweeted a lot, maybe when we go to their tweets. All right, let's just go to them, because I do want to pull it up.
Yeah.
So it's nice and big. Okay.
I don't know if they're heavy tweeted. All right, here we go. So, 'tis the season. This is Jake Paul versus Nate Robinson. I just liked it. Jake Paul fought Nate Robinson and literally took his soul. So it's just a good meme. Nate Robinson is the Halls, and Jake Robinson's fist is boughs of holly.
He's knocking him out.
He's decking the halls with his boughs of holly. Merry Christmas. Tis the season.
It's season. Can I just throw an extra one on for funs, because we just
for
like
funskies.
Oh yeah, okay. I thought this made me chuckle. It's not as good as yours, but let me go into our DMs here, and yeah, this is from our boy. This is from CD Carter, and so he's got a meme, and on one side, if you're able to if you can't see it, it's a zombie skeletons riding a roller coaster, sticking their hands out, scaring people. On the other side is a bunch of white people from like the 60s or 50s just screaming and being freaked out. And so it says, people who are zombies, people pouring over tight end snap counts and route runs at 8 a.m. And then down here, people checking their Office Fantasy League results over coffee.
Yeah, it's kind of a tough one to explain, but I liked it.
It's funny because you just see like the two different worlds of the people. It really does a great job of juxtaposing those people who are in your league, who could give like no shits, and they're just like, oh hey Barb, let's see who won this week. Let's check our league. Compared to people like you and me, who are just sweating every little thing that happens. So and it's Denny Carter, so I love Denny. So, but you won. I just wanted to give Denny some.
Did you watch the any of the Tyson fight, or did you see any of the highlights? Did you see the Jake Paul knockout of Nate Robinson?
I saw the Jake Paul knockout for sure. I did.
Did you see his first knockout too? Like So you saw the development of him like knocking him down, almost getting a KO,
almost,
and then and then Nate Robinson getting up.
Ran at him with his face, dog. That's a terrible strategy,
dude.
Oh,
I heard I heard
dumb.
Snoop Dogg's commentating on it today. Everyone was like, "Man, I hope he's okay." And Snoop was like, "Man, he from the hood. He good. Don't worry about it." But I did not think he was going to be good because he was from the hood. When I saw that, I was legit scared.
Yeah, he looked dead.
He twitched a little bit with his leg, just a little bit, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, dude! Like, what if Jake Paul just broke his brain?" Like that was one of the most vicious knockouts I've ever seen. And I watch horrible stuff on Twitter. I mean,
and I'm just a deep diving fight guy.
I'm always getting bored and seeking out violence on Twitter. That was one of the, like, I was legit scared. Like I was like, man, this, like he went down stiff as a board and just laid there.
I was a little scared when I saw Ben Askin get KO'd by our Jorge Masvidal when he just kneed him in the face and then hit him in the face again. So that was pretty vicious. There's always those. I love the UFC, man. I don't want anyone to get hurt or die. I like that everyone's kind of gotten up after the fights. I don't advocate doing that kind of stuff, but it is entertaining. I do enjoy watching the UFC and football and things like that. You know, I like a good hit.
There's nothing like a knockout like that. And like once everything's okay, it's like, oh yeah, I'll talk about it on the show as an entertainment fodder. But that one did have me legit like, is Nate Robinson okay? And he is, but he was not okay for a good 10 minutes. I mean, they had to like sit him up and like walk him out, and he got cracked.
Oh, he got crushed. He's definitely has a concussion for sure. He blacked out and he was out for 10 minutes. Oh man, I hope it never happens to me. Let me just tell you right now, between you, me, and God, shout out God, let's not have anybody getting knocked out. I'm not into that kind of stuff at all, man.
Don't fight Jake Paul.
No, I'm a lover. I'm not a fighter.
Yeah, don't get sucked into fighting that dude.
No, I would not.
He called out Conor McGregor afterwards. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah, and you know what, man? I could see that fight. I would love to see that fight. I would love to. That's like, Conor McGregor fighting Floyd Mayweather. Like it's so absurd, but the money, there's a market for it. Like Jake Paul is just that knockout just upped his Q rating by tiers. I mean, he like the money that he'll generate, he might be able to get a real fighter, and we'll all tune in to watch some weird YouTube star fight someone who can really fight, because he can fight. I mean, he's not a professional fighter, but he showed what would happen versus someone who has no boxing background. Sleeps him. I mean, just completely murks him. So I think it would be really cool if he fought Conor McGregor, and just to watch Conor McGregor do that to him.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Speaking of getting murked, did you see the hit on Cam Newton by Isaiah Simmons in that game on the sideline that drew a penalty late in that fourth quarter? Did you see that game?
I have to say I missed that. It
was a terrible call in my opinion. They called him like I don't know if they called it. They just said personal foul. I don't know. I didn't hear if it was late hit or hit to the head, but he didn't really hit him to the head. If it was, he hit him to the shoulder, and like the bottom of his helmet kind of grazed his face mask. It was not a hit to the head, but he crushed him going out of bounds. Like he destroyed him going out of bounds. Like literally.
No, I did see that one.
That was not a penalty to me. He hit him in bounds, and that bothered me because that was just a mean old hit on a guy.
Here's the thing that's so interesting. If I remember the play right, he's running out of bounds
as a runner,
and he knocks him out of bounds, and there is like a helmet to helmet thing
underneath his mask. It grazes underneath his mask.
But the thing is that there's
he initiated shoulder to shoulder with him.
but all he did was like go like this. Like, how are you supposed to like run it? Like Cam Newton is 6'5", so there's nothing you can do. Like when I saw that play too, I was like, how do you even? Are you supposed to hold your head a certain way when you tackle Cam? I mean, or yeah, I just didn't understand it. Yeah.
No, that was not controversial, but I just thought that was a terrible call, and the rookie had a lot to gripe about. It was a great hit. So
you're like that Saints fan.
Oh, the guy like, it's a bunch of bullshit. I can't believe this.
Yeah, from a few weeks.
Yes, yeah. We were coming across the field, running down there. Next thing you know, guys ask him, pow, hits him. That's a 15-yard penalty. That's some bullshit, man. Straight bullshit.
Yeah, that was you.
That guy's my guy. Shout out Yelling Guy from New Orleans. Yeah. All right, well, I think that's all we got. Let's pump some shit again. We've got Bo's Hot Box brand hot sauce. This is the bomb right here. Go get it.
It really is so good.
.com. It's the shit. I love it. Mike loves it. It's the official. We're not even getting paid for this. This is just, we love Bo and we love this sauce. It's the best. Get that shit.
We're just trying to help people on this show, and we're just trying to help improve people's, fantasy teams and their lives. And
it's stocking. Bloop.
Yeah, this is a life hack for hot sauce.
Yeah, it's one of the best hot sauces in the whole world. I said it's the world's best hot sauce today on my Instagram. It is. Shout out Bo McBigtime and getting his merch. You can get hot sauce shirts and hot box stuff. I'm getting one of those for Christmas. I can't wait. Also, check us out at thefantasymillionaires.com. Check us out at the nimblewnumbers.com, at the Ralph Macho on Twitter, at NimbleWNumbers on Twitter. Anything else, man? We got a plug? Or we're good.
Yes. Stay tuned next week.
9:30. We'll be here every Monday. We'll be here until the Super Bowl. That around that time, probably do a wrap up show after the Super Bowl that week, and we'll get there. So thanks for tuning in. We had Die Hard Crew here with us. We're at 6 people right now, and that's the lowest we've been all night. But thank you for staying with us. You guys are the best, and have a great rest of your night. And go football.
Peace.
Peace.